Within the South African context, SED, socio-economic development, is legislated by government. You need to do this in order to keep your mining license before it reaches a stage of BEE points and everything, just to have that mining license valid. Now, as you start investing, in communities, building colleges and doing whatever as a mining company, do you think it's easy for mining companies to produce doctors? Or are they most likely going to produce artisans so that they work for the very same mine? Yeah. Within that framework, it does not give one, a mining company the comfort to look beyond what they see, to look beyond, possible returns, of investing through whatever. And these are the very same things that cause incidents such as Marikana, because you find that in a community, the grandfather worked there. Then he had a son, the son grew up there, then the son had a child, and the child works for the mine. It's only the fourth generation that will probably produce an engineer. But from grandfather to father, it will not be, to the son's father, there will not be an engineer there. By luck, 1 out of 10, there will be an engineer in that pipeline. Now, what does this create? It creates economic entrappings. Even it means generation after generation, they will go on strike because they demand a living wage, which is very fair if you were to look or to know how much some of them earn. But it's 2013, then a mining company will not wake up today and say, we give you exactly what you want, because they cannot afford that. It's something which should have been addressed systematically over time. Then you come to where we are, as corporates today, implementing corporate social responsibility 3.0 or common shared value and so forth. Then we say, okay, as a company, we will produce, develop electronics engineering academies. Because we are an electronics company, we will come up with academies to invest ahead of the curve, so that even when we realize our manufacturing capabilities in Africa one day, we know that we have rightfully skilled people to take on the job. Because good, you can come with a BSc degree from a university, that's appreciated, but the truth is you are not job ready. Because when you come to Samsung, you've never worked on a Samsung tablet, you still need to be trained. But you see, as we do that as a company, there's also pressure from our side to say, this is all good and done, everyone recognizes that we do good. But then comes an employability aspect. We then have to make sure that our graduates are employed, because if we produce people who've went through our very industry-specific training, if we don't employ them, who should? So, then this keeps on bringing other dimensions onto the picture. That's why I started by saying it's definitely not easy. Now it will give us an idea of why companies end up abiding to compliance and say, if we need to do this, let's do it for the sake of doing business. But where will we be in 50 years' time? Then that's the biggest question. I think we see world conferences on sustainability focusing on the environment. It's good, but I think it's time we have the very same platforms, focusing on the future of the world economy, because the way it's going around, with inflation, with all these pressures and so forth, and I mean, with the privilege of traveling quite widely in Africa myself because of the work one does, I sometimes wonder, where are we going as a continent? 10 steps forward, then it seems we take 7 steps back, and then we move a little bit forward, then we go back. But the truth is, these are very structural economic issues. Yeah. And then CSR or SED or whatever the acronym you want to use comes very much secondary.